Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like. If we can do that as soon as you get to the video, it helps the algorithm push the video and my channel far and wide, and I much appreciate your support. Let's jump over to the calendar and have a look at the calendar, and then we'll have a look at the charts, of course. We'll have a look at London session. London session was cooking, plenty of entries and opportunities during London. So I'd love to have a look at that with you guys today. Alrighty, let's look at Wednesday. No news Wednesday. We do have PPI coming up. Another opportunity to OSOC. Probability not as high as CPI. If any of you guys jumped on the OSOC stream with Adam and you were able to pass some accounts, well done. Congratulations. I was able to pass one account at least. I copy traded, one account failed, but that's just the risk you take. And it was just a perfect news drop, really was. So congratulations if you were able to OSOC. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know if you were on the stream with Adam, if you did OSOC, and if you passed or failed, let me know. All right, let's jump over to NQ. And there's still time, guys, to grab your Tradeify or Apex evals. Code Jimmy Trades for Tradeify. Code Jimmy for Apex. 80% off at Apex at the moment. Tradeify 30 to 40% off, depending on if you're a new user or not. Alrighty, let's start here. NQ on the daily. I want to get rid of this for now. Hide that, close that. All right. Actually, let's close. Hide that as well. All righty. So we've had some real expansion here on NQ. Now, after large expansion, which we've had 1, 2, I'm not going to count Friday really, 3, 4, but we've essentially had 5 days of expansion. Prices rocketed higher. So what can we anticipate? We can anticipate that price might want to consolidate or retrace. At this level, it would make sense. Reason being, we have swept out this daily high, and we also respected this daily FVG right here. All right, so price didn't get a close through this daily FVG. Also, price has swept out previous day high. So we already have previous day high swept out. You can see that just there. For today, I'll be looking for price to run lower, back into the range of the previous day. Okay, so back down to the 50% level, somewhere around there. Oh, that's what I'll be anticipating price to do. If we drop down to the hourly, do we have a change in state of delivery? Not just yet. We can see the sweep of the high there. I'd want to see price close through this level, and with some displacement would also fuel the idea that price might want to run lower. Now, if we have a look at this dealing range, we've got plenty of gaps down here for price to want to retrace into in a discount. Okay, even all the way down here. All right, so that's what I'm anticipating for price today. I want to see it close through this level for a start, and that'll help with that idea playing out. While we're on NQ, let's go and have a look at London session. Now, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get an entry. The reason for that is London session is a busy session in my household. I have my boy running around. It's dinner time. There's plenty going on, but I do still keep an eye on the charts. Sometimes things align and I'm able to get an entry, but it doesn't happen as often as I'd like. So we swept out these stacked highs here. All right. And then we got an immediate reversal. So looking at this as the breaker, I'm including the green candle. The reason being is there's no deviation here. It's just straight down. So I'm looking at that as the breaker. It's personal preference. You could look at this and just use this candle. It's completely up to you. But it's only a small, it's not a huge range, that breaker anyway. So I was happy enough to look at it like this. And so this would be your unicorn. Price gives us a lovely inversion here as well. Quite an aggressive move. And if we just run out our stop at the high, easily pick up. 2R gets picked up, within 15 minutes. And if you wanted to target the Asia low, which was my draw on liquidity, particularly after this reversal framed, and there was SMT at the highs here with ES. So ES swept out the high, NQ did not. So that's showing you smart money moving in, and we can anticipate price to want to reverse. So that's what I was looking at. That was a 5-minute bearish trade. Beautiful trade. Lovely respect here given to the breaker. Very little drawdown, and price eventually runs out to the Asia low. Then if we move to the 1 minute time frame, we have the reversal up here, looking with SMT. The close through is what I'd be looking for, this change in state of delivery here. Unfortunately, it doesn't give a tag in at this level. Price just runs away. You would have had to have market ordered in on this candle, and look, you still would have been fine. It's just, for me, a little bit low. It's still not a huge stop. I would have probably run it out to these highs here. But again, if you were able to hold, if you're able to hold that, if you decided to get in there, that would have been a lovely 4R trade to the Asia low. And that's what I would have been targeting, was Asia low. Again, we get another opportunity. We come up, we get a lovely little sweep here into a 15, I think there was a 15-minute FVG there. Let's mark that out. Oh, it's a little bit higher, that one. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was quite a large FVG. And we respected the bottom portion of that FVG. You can see that through here. Mark that out. There it is. So respected beautifully. Again, unfortunately, we don't get a great entry. If you were to market order in, this would be where I would prefer to market order in. And look, as price runs through, it's completely up to you if you wanted to market order as price is still moving, or you wait for that confirmation. The other confirmation is through here, and that would have been better, but your stop would still, I would still want to run my stop to the high. Again, you still get 2R to the Asia low. We'll leave this FEG here because we get another opportunity to get into the market here as well. Reacting off the 15-minute FEG. And if you market ordered in on this inversion that we have here, this candle. There's another opportunity to get in. And you can put your stop at the high, or if you're happy to just put it at the top of the candle that formed the FVG. And we actually have a little breakaway gap here. So that would actually be the optimal stop placement, because we do have that little breakaway gap. And then price runs away again, targeting the Asia low, and we get another 2R out of that trade. So multiple opportunities during London that I wasn't able to take advantage of today, and that's okay. There will always be plenty more. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you were able to catch a short on NQ during London. As I say, there was multiple opportunities. I'd love to get your thoughts. Alrighty, let's move over to ES. We'll push out to the daily. And what do we have? The high. Let's clear that. So ES on the daily, we have SMT at the moment. Smart money moving in, looking at giving us confluence to a potential reversal. We swept out these equal highs. No real, we've got some, obviously some old daily highs here that price swept out, but there's no gap to speak of there. We do have an SMT at the moment. So if we move down to the hourly, we are getting a change in the state of delivery here now on ES. That's what I'd be looking at with the SMT, coupled with the SMT. And if we get this displacement, then this is starting to frame a nice short opportunity as we come into New York. Looking at the dealing range, again, we have this gap down here that's in a discount. Okay, there's no gap here like there is on NQ, but we do have this one that's in a discount for ES. So bearish for ES. What do we got on CL? So we're bearish yesterday. Well, CL didn't play the game, or we just got it wrong. I think we got it wrong. We definitely got it wrong. We had quite a strong bullish candle yesterday, actually. It was all said and done. So we are still respecting this bearish FEG. However, we did close above previous day high. So what I would like to see here now, if we run out the equilibrium of previous day's range, we are respecting that level right now. Previous day high is open. And for me, that would be the low hanging fruit. Maybe this will be enough to see price move through and start getting through this bearish FEG. Dropping down to the hourly. We need to respect this equilibrium of the previous day range. This level here, just going to take that off, just tidy it up a little bit. So that's the level that we want to see price respect. And I don't mind if we do wick through there and put in a reversal. That's okay. At the moment, it has started to roll. Price has started to roll. If we don't respect this level, then we'll continue lower. What have we got lower? The draw would be the equal lows down here. If we have a look again at that dealing range, working off the equilibrium there, there's no gaps. We have a gap down here that hasn't been filled. So there's potential there for price to maybe sweep out this low into this gap even and look to run higher. But we'll have to see how price plays out. So for the time being, I'm going to position myself with a neutral bias, leaning more to the bullish side, but I do want to see this equilibrium here respected. Let's move on over to 6E. So 6E on the daily. We had a bearish bias. We got that one wrong as well yesterday. We usually have a pretty good run with bias. But that'll be, I imagine GBP also ran higher. Haven't looked at it yet. Yeah, I think we'll continue to move higher. Reason being, we've only got a small wick to the downside. Strong candle today. We're looking at an expansion candle. You know, looking for the drawn liquidity. Maybe Friday high. That'll be my first point of call anyway. And that's a nice 4-hour swing for price to want to target. And then we do have this low resistance liquidity through here as well. Looking at the 4-hour there. Dropping down to the hourly. So we did put in a bullish breaker, albeit that price didn't immediately displace through, but we did finally see that displacement here. And price rocketed off of that breaker from that point. We're filling this gap at the moment. I like the Friday high as our draw. And then looking for this low resistance liquidity. Let's change that to bullish Dixie. Obviously, if we got 6E wrong, we got Dixie wrong. So we did move lower. That's what we were looking for. We wanted to see a move lower into this bullish FVG, but then we completely disrespected it. We have a bearish breaker. We have change in state of delivery. If we run our fibs from the high to the low, we're actually at our drawn liquidity. I think we might have even marked this out, or our target area, I should say. We can anticipate price to consolidate here or retrace. Once we close through the negative 2.5, then we can anticipate price to reach for the negative 4. Bearish for Dixie. Looking for price to come back up into this FEG here and then continue to move lower. Jumping over to gold. Well, if gold doesn't take these lows today, I don't know what I don't know when it will, honestly. That's all I'm giving for gold bias. Taking these lows. Seriously. Hourly, what are we looking at? Respecting bearish PD array, swing point candle closure as well, which is nice. Equal lows, stacked lows through here. Looking for price to run lower. This is the draw liquidity, in my opinion. All right. Why have a quick look at the 4 hour? Yeah, we do have a swing point candle closure here out of a bearish 4 hour FEG. So I do like that. Similar to what we had here. I just need to see if price can continue to move lower. Okay. GBP. Bullish bias yesterday. We got that right. Look, GBP and Euro are correlated assets. So really, we should have the same bias on both. We obviously got that wrong yesterday with 6E, and that's okay. We can see what happened here when we marked this out. We wanted price to respect this change in state of delivery here. We got exactly that. So look, it's a great read of the bias here. If we look at the hourly, it would have been a clearer view. So that's what we're looking at. Great, as I say, a great read on the bias for GBP. We cruise out to the daily. Same deal. We've respected the top portion of the previous day's range. We do have a nice target here, this high, which is into this bearish FEG. So I'm still liking GU for longs here. Moving over to Bitcoin. What do we got? Bitcoin, come on. What do you got for us? Bit of a boring old day today. Just an inside bar. We are respecting this daily bullish FEG, which is great. Exactly what we marked out here. And we are, in fact, respecting the 50% of the equilibrium of previous day range. Even though both ranges are quite small, we are respecting that. And we've opened with no wick to the high side. The high level drawn liquidity on a lower time frame, that would be. So that's where I'll be looking for price to want to run. That's us just here. Want to see that high taken from the 1800 candle and subsequently take out the rest of these highs and get a closure above this high here. And we're starting to look good for price to continue to motor from there. This is our weekly standard deviations, and we are consolidating in that range. We talked about that just previously on one of the other assets. When price reaches the -2 to 2.5, we can anticipate consolidation or retracement. If we close above the -2.5, then we can target the -4. We are getting consolidation, which is fine. Consolidation, let's get that accumulation here before we distribute. So this is essentially looking at the phases of price. Phase 1, 2, and this is 3. Give us that push and then look for price to want to turn around a little bit from there. I like it. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. Again, much appreciate you being here. Be sure to subscribe, give the video a like. Be sure to share the channel far and wide. Post it on your socials would be greatly appreciated. You just never know who might see the channel and want to give it a follow. All right, guys, take care. Have a good Friday. I'm wishing the week away. Have a great Wednesday. And we'll catch you over in Trade Foundry. Bye for now.